Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of all trades and welcome to another video. So today what we're talking about is the Taurus Model 66 357 Magnum revolver. So let's get right into the video. And welcome back. So yes, today what we're going to talk about is the Taurus Model 66 357 Magnum revolver. Now I picked this pistol up, or this revolver, I should say revolver, because people are going to get mad at me if I call it a pistol. And I also picked up this one. These are both Model 66 Taurus revolvers. And I picked these up because I actually had a subscriber who had commented on my Taurus 605 video that I should check out the Taurus Model 66. So under that suggestion, I did. Ended up buying two of these. Now, the Taurus Model 66 has been around since 1978. So it's been in production for quite some time. And when it was first originally offered, you could get it in a 3, 4, or a 6-inch barrel. And then you could get it either in blued or a nickel configuration. And then originally it came with wood checkered grips. Now, if you look at the Model 66, you'll notice it's got a lot of similarities to the Smith & Wesson Model 19 and the Smith & Wesson Model 66. And that's because when the 66 came out, Smith & Wesson and Taurus were actually owned by the same company. So clearly there's going to be some engineering and some design crossover in between these two companies. But the Model 66 Taurus looks an awful lot like the medium frame revolvers in the Smith & Wesson, which would be the 19 and the 66. So over the years, you could get the 66 in a whole bunch of different configurations. You could get it in, later on, you could get it in a 2-inch snub nose with wood grips, checkered grips, with rubber grips. You could even get a 12-inch model, a 12-inch barreled model, which to me seems kind of ridiculous, but it's kind of fun at the same time. Then along about 1999, Taurus started offering the Model 66 with the option for a 7-shot cylinder. And then along about 2001, they just dropped the 6-round cylinder altogether. And now what you can get is the Model 66 in 7 rounds. So you get one extra round of capacity. Now, the Taurus Model 66 is still in production today. You can find it on the Taurus website. They sell for approximately 500 or a little over dollars, typically in retail stores. You can get them in basically 4 configurations. You can get them in the 4-inch like this one, or you can get them in the 6-inch like this one, and you can get the same 4 and 6-inch in a blue or a black oxide finish, not blued, it's black oxide. So you could basically still get the Model 66 in 4 configurations. They're the same barrel lengths, 4 and 6 inches, it's just different colors. So these are the first Taurus Model 66s I've owned. It's a medium frame revolver. Like I said, it's a 7-round capacity, not a 6, which is really kind of nice. And the gun itself operates a lot like a Smith & Wesson does, where the cylinder release is right here. It's easily found with your thumb. It's very intuitive. Then you could just push the cylinder open with your index finger. Super easy to get to. Unloading rod right there. And when the cylinder is closed, the unloading rod is completely encapsulated inside of the barrel, so it's nice and well protected. The top of the hammer has got some really nice positive knurling on top. It's easy to get a grip on that knurling with your finger to cock and decock the firearm. The new ones now only come with rubber grips, and I can really appreciate the rubber grips, although with my larger hands, I really would like to have a little more meat on the grip myself, but it's not bad, even for a guy with big hands. Now, the average person, you're going to be just fine with these grips. And like I said, when I shoot 357 loads, I really do appreciate the fact that there's a rubber grip on here to help absorb some of that recoil. When you open up the cylinder on this, and if you look at the cylinders or the chambers in the cylinder, you can see that they're very lightly chamfered to help with reloading, but it's not a very aggressive chamfer. And I don't find that I have any problem whatsoever finding the chambers when I'm loading the cylinder. It seems like it's not a problem whatsoever. The shells drop right in. The cylinder spins very nice and freely. It's just a really well-made firearm altogether. It's got a fixed ramp sight up front, and it's got a little bit of a red insert there so to help you find it. It's got a fully adjustable rear sight on it. Recoil is very manageable because they're not really light guns, but at the same time, they're not overly heavy and they're not burdensome heavy. So there's just enough weight there to help tame some of the recoil. And they're light enough yet where they're really not a hindrance to carry in the woods or whatever like that in a holster. The other thing that I really like about the Model 66 is it does have a transfer bar safety system, i.e., when you pull the trigger on it, if you're not physically pulling the trigger, the transfer bar will not engage the hammer. So it is safe to load these with all 7 cylinders full and to put it in a holster. You shouldn't have any fear of the gun just accidentally going off. No need to load with a cowboy load, i.e., an empty chamber underneath the hammer. All in all, it's just a really nice, well-made firearm, and I'm really, really happy that I bought these. My initial shots with them, they seem to shoot really good, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some rounds on target here, and we're going to see what I can get done with it. So let's go ahead and turn the camera, and let's do some shooting, and let's see if I can get some bullets to actually impact the target where I want them. All right, so I've got the 4-inch. I'm using 38 specials right now because they're a little less expensive. I will shoot some 357s out of it just to see how they shoot. But let's see if I can put some hits on that right side target there with the 4-inch. We'll go center mass. That's 7 shots. Let's go take a look at it. All right, so I'm really not used to that 4-inch yet, but I can see that I hit a few of them in the dirt down here. I'm obviously hitting pretty low. This was my 7th shot, and I was actually aiming right there in the head, so it does shoot about 4 inches low for me. When I finally figured out I wasn't hitting paper, these last shots here, I was actually aiming about here. So I'm going to have to do some sight adjustment on that, and this 4-inch is shooting a little low for me. All right, let's see what I can get done with the 6-inch. We'll go for the left target here. All right, don't seem to have a whole lot of problem with the 6-inch. Now, you got to understand, I have never ever once claimed to be any kind of a real great handgun shot. You know that, but I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that was number 7 on a headshot up there. They may pull just a little bit right, but that's probably more me than the gun. The 6-inch is clearly shooting a little better for me. All right, so one of the reasons that I bought these firearms is so that I could carry them with me when I'm in the woods for bear defense and things like that, when I'm out picking berries or riding ATVs or even just cutting wood. So let's go ahead and let's just try it at a shorter distance because defense distance is about 21 feet. So I'm 8 steps off here. That's actually 24 feet, which is plenty close. If a bear gets 24 feet away from me, I'm afraid I'm going to have to fire some shots. But let's see how these things put rounds on target at a closer range. I'm going to shoot these double action, and I'll just go for headshots. Yeah, it's pretty clear that the 4-inch is shooting quite low for me at 21 feet, so I'm going to have to hold high. Let's see what the 6-inch is like. I gotta say, the double action trigger on both these guns is really, really nice. I am not good at double action shooting because I just simply don't practice enough at it. But boy, I tell you what, the double action on these triggers is really quite smooth. All right, so I made just a couple of minor little sight adjustments. I went up, I got the 4-inch here, I went up and a little bit to the left. Let's see if that helped out. I only had 5 shots in there because I'm running out of 38 special ammo. But let's go ahead and let's try the 6-inch, because I did the same thing, made a slight sight adjustment. I was shooting a bit right. Let's see if that helped. I'm going to shoot for the number 7. Still just a little low, but the left and right is pretty good. So I would be remiss if I didn't try them with some 357. So I've got some 357 Cowboy Action Load. It's made by HSM. Let's just see what the 357s shoot like. Woo, that's a little spicy here. Sure do appreciate those rubber grips. That's the last one. It is. All right. So this is one of the quandaries with getting a used gun. 357 loads. These 3 are sticking in the chamber. I'm probably going to have to do some chamber cleaning or smooth them out or something, but they are most definitely sticking. And when you're using 357 loads, that's almost to be kind of half expected, because those brass are going to expand a lot, but they should come out. And as you can see, I'm pushing quite hard on the loading rod, and they are just simply not coming out. Little tap with the blade of my knife and they popped out of there. So let's see what happens with the 6-inch. Recoil is much tamer with the 6-inch, but it's still noticeably different. All of those came out, no problem. Well, not too half bad. I can certainly live with that. The 6-inch shoots way better than the 4-inch does. That might be barrel length, that might be me, that might be cleaning. I don't know what that is, but we're going to work with it. But I could definitely see that the 4-inch is not nearly as accurate as the 6-inch is. That might also be the recoil, any number of things. Might also be the fact that I actually kind of suck as a handgun shot. But that being aside, not half bad. I'll take it, and I'll certainly enjoy having these handguns. Quite obviously, I like the 6-inch accuracy much, much better. While I'm policing up my brass, let's talk a little bit about what I think of these Model 66s. They shoot pretty good. The 4-inch doesn't shoot very good for me yet. There might be something with that. I might have to have it checked out, but it's kind of all over the place. Now, understand, I did get these guns used. I did not buy them new, but the 4-inch is definitely not as accurate as the 6. The 6 is much more accurate. I also found that my 4-inch has a tendency to stick the shells in 3 chambers when I'm using 357 loads. Again, that might be something I need to have checked out, because the 6-inch had absolutely no problem whatsoever expelling 357s. They came right out practically on their own, so no issues there. The guns function very well. I do appreciate the rubber grips with 357 loads, although like I said, with my big hands, they would certainly feel a little better if I had a little more girth and width in the grips, but I could certainly make it work. 38 special, they shot just fine. There was no issues with them whatsoever. Really quite happy with the way they shot. Loading was pretty easy. You can tell that the chambers are slightly chamfered, which does make loading just a little bit easier, kind of liking that. Overall, I'm liking the guns. I just wish the 4-inch was a little more accurate than it is. And like I said, that might be me. It might be the fact that I'm just not a very good pistol shot, and I've always admitted that. But I do like shooting handguns, and so as a result, we'll keep going and we'll keep practicing with them. Overall, I really like the guns. I really do. I'm really liking the 6-inch. I can understand or see me utilizing the 6-inch far more often than the 4-inch. But overall, I really like it. The triggers are nice. Both in single action and double action, the triggers are very, very nice. Very, very happy overall. Now, the 4-inch gun, I actually picked that up pretty reasonably on gunbroker.com. I got that for, I think, $350 plus shipping. The 6-inch, I paid a little more for. It was like $405 plus shipping, again, off of Gunbroker. I feel I got pretty good deals on them, especially on this 6-inch. The 6-inch is in very, very nice shape, and shipping wasn't all that expensive. And yeah, overall, just very, very happy that I've got both of these guns in my collection. And so there you have it, the Taurus Model 66 7-shot revolvers. Nice little guns for what they are. Medium frame, 357 or 38 special, whichever you want to shoot out of them. And they function well. They're fairly accurate. A couple of problems with my 4-inch, but I think I can probably get those ironed out. That's what you get when you get a used gun. I don't know that that's necessarily Taurus's problem yet, but the 6-inch actually functioned lovely, and I'm very, very happy with it. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Now, if you're liking videos like this and you want to see more content like that, please let me know in those comments, and I will certainly try to get more videos done like this. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. I don't ever ask you for tips or Patreon or any of that kind of business, but hitting that like and subscribe button makes my monetization go up, and then I can afford to buy more guns like this. And like I said, this was a viewer request. They wanted me to check these out, and so I did. And I'm glad that they requested that, but these cost money. And the only way I ever ask you for your support is to hit the like and subscribe button, because it's completely free, doesn't cost you a thing, and it sure does help me out on the channel. With that, this is Ed from Jack of All Trades. As always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you to my longtime subscribers. I really appreciate your support, and we'll see you on the next video.